Hello, welcome back. Today we will be talking about brushes. Yes. You do a makeup look, you're gonna wanna learn the right tools that you're gonna be using. Most of these brushes are more on the affordable side. I used to actually own MAC brushes back in the day when they were like the big, like a thing. Everyone had to have a MAC brush. You weren't cool if you didn't have one. But throughout the years, I found myself not using them very often because a lot of their brushes were very, very scratchy. And there's just one thing I can't do. I can't scratch this face, I can't. So when Sigma started coming out with brushes, I just started using their brushes. And then Morphe came out with their line of brushes, and it's just like everything just started becoming more affordable. So I kind of like started moving away from MAC, but I still kept some of theirs. So I think I have like 2 in my collection here that are from MAC. So we're gonna be talking about these brushes, about face brushes, your blush brushes, your eye brushes, the essentials that you need. These are just like my personal favorites, and I can't go wrong with any of these. So if you want to go ahead and learn about brushes and what kind of tools you need to have a great makeup look, keep on watching. All right, so first things first, we're gonna talk about our face brushes. We're gonna start off with foundation. The one that I go to every single time to use is the Morphe M439 brush, is this one right here. This is great because it covers a big area of the face, so it takes shorter time to do your foundation. So I will go in and dot my foundation, and I'll start blending it in with this. I'll start like patting it and blending it. When I don't use this one, let's say it's dirty, I will go ahead and use oldies but goodies. These Sigma brushes, they're also like the same kind. They're the synthetic angled Kabuki F80. This one I will also use for foundation as well. The good thing with this one is that because it's angled, it's really good to get underneath here in the eye. So this is an awesome brush. I honestly go between these 3. But the one that I use mostly is this one because it's so big and it just gets the job done quicker. The other one that I also will use for foundation is the same, the Sigma F Flattop Kabuki F80. It's this one as well. Same thing, very densely packed. It's not as big as the Morphe one, but it will get the job done. You always kind of want to use this. This is for like heavy foundation. If you want to go in and really get full coverage, this is what I will go for. Now, if I'm looking to go for a more of a natural look, as natural as possible, I'll go in with a beauty blender. Everybody should really have this. Is like a staple in your makeup collection. Why not have it? But I mean, it doesn't mean you can't have like the cheaper version, like the Real Technique sponge. So I will go ahead with this beauty blender and I'll dot my face. This will just give you more of a natural, seamless look. This will give you more of a great full coverage look. So it all depends on what you're going for. The great thing I love about the beauty blender is that it has this pointed edge here. So when I'm blending in my concealer, I can definitely get like right underneath the eye with this, super easy. And with the Real Techniques, it's not as sharp as the beauty blender, but it gets the job done just as quick. It's actually a little more like fatter, so it'll cover more of an area of your face. So these 2, they're awesome. So we're gonna talk about now our powder brushes, powder, contour, blush. So for all over powder, I rarely do it. I just go with whatever blush brush I use and I'll go in and dust my face with powder. But for the most part, I will use this Too Faced powder Pouf brush. I got this a really, really long time ago. It doesn't have a number or anything. It's like all rubbed off clearly because it's like 5 years old, but super cute brush, and it picks up like powder perfectly. It just distributes the right amount of powder to your face. So cute brush, really cute to have in your makeup stand. What I use for bronzer / contour is this one, the Sephora Professional number 43. It's the Contour Blush Bronzer Blush. This is a great duo brush because basically it does the job of 2 things. So you can go in and contour with this with the edge, and you'll go ahead and contour because it's so sharp. But at the same time, if you want to go in and bronze up the whole thing, you could do it, put it on the flat side and bronze, and it's really, really nicely packed, and it has a great circumference. It has a great circumference. I don't know what that means, but it takes up a lot of your face, which means that the job will be done quicker. So you can go in and contour here, and then you could just continue bronzing everywhere else that you do. So it's a great dual brush, and this is what I use 95% of the time. When I want a real chiseled look, I will go in with the MAC 109. It's this one right over here. You could even do blush with this. So you go in, and you can go ahead and contour those cheekbones like super, super like nice sharp edge. You can get it with this. And this brush has lasted like 6 years, 7 years, and it's like perfect condition. So yeah. For blush, my favorite all-time go-to blush brush is the Morphe E4. It's this one right over here. It has an angled here, so it covers the cheekbones perfectly. And this brush, what I love about it is the fact that it distributes like blush so beautifully to your skin. Doesn't matter what kind of blush you have, the moment that you dip it in, it just like, it picks up the product and it just distributes it so evenly. And it's so soft. If there's one thing I need with all of my brushes, they need to be soft. I cannot stand scratchy brushes. No, like I don't care how expensive it is. Like no, this super soft. Oh God, it's like you're putting on, you know, kind of like a sheep. It's just like, it's like cotton. Seriously, you go in with this and it just like distributes it so beautifully. So definitely #1 in my collection for when it comes to blush. So when it comes to under eye, I will go in and use this one, the Morphe M438 brush is this one right here. This fits like perfectly right here underneath your eye. So when you're done with your concealer and you want to go in and set it, like look how perfectly like it fits there. And you can also use this to highlight as well. It distributes the setting powder so easily to your under eye, and this is what I will always go in and use for that. For highlight, my highlighting brush, another dual fave of mine. This one was given to me by one of my best friends. It's the Set and Spotlight brush from Real Techniques. This came in like a pack. I mean, I'll go ahead and link it down below. So I will use this side here for highlight, and I will use this side here to contour my nose. Or also too, if I'm in a hurry, I'm on my way to work, or I'm doing my makeup at work, and I would just want to use like bronzer and just kind of do an eye look, I'll do it with this side as well. A great brush. We're gonna go ahead and talk about eye brushes. Whoo, prepare yourself, because this, oh my God. For the eye look that I have on today, it took a lot of brushes. I'm kidding, no. I will only go for 4 brushes for the complete eye look. A necessity to have a great eye look, no matter what kind of look you're going for, bold, smoky, light, natural, whatever. These are you need these 3 brushes. And it doesn't have to be these. It's the kind of brushes that you need. First off, you need a fluffy brush, a big, nice, fluffy brush for your transition shade. So this transition shade here that I have, this type of brush will fluff it out and will blend it in seamlessly. So it's the Morphe M441 brush right over here. So this will just blend out your eye. You could do a messy look, whatever you want to do. This will blend out your eyeshadow on the top, your transition shade. This is always the kind of brush you want to use for that. You don't want to use a thin brush for that, because the thin brush is what you're going to use to define the color even more. So to define the color, I use the Morphe M439 brush. It's a little thinner, as you can see. If you compare the two, this one is what I use to define my inner corner and just to define the eye look even more, to give it more depth. We're going to use this one to go in and put that first color in, the transition shade, and we're gonna use this one here to go in and deepen that inner corner there. And then to pack on color to the lid, my favorite all-time packer brush is the MAC 242. Sigma has these too, Morphe has a brush as well, but for some reason I've tried theirs, but this is like an old staple in my collection. And the way I use this is that I will go in and, you know, put some setting spray, and that's what I will use, and then I will start applying my shimmer color to my lid, and it just gives it a great intensity. You don't have to use, you know, setting spray or anything, but if you really want to get the most out of your eyeshadow, use one of these brushes here. So this packs it on very easily, very nice. You can also use this here at the top for your brow bone. To smoke out my lash line, I will go for a BH Cosmetics number, ¿qué número es esto, coño? No tiene número. So it's this little tiny little pencil looking brush. It's so tiny. You can get it from their website. I think it costs like $1. But the reason why I like this one over all the other like brushes I've tried the MAC one and also the Morphe one, is that it's so tiny. Look at it. It's perfect. Like, it's so little and it's so perfect. It gets underneath here, the lash line, so easily. And it's just like this cute little, like, it's like a little fluff ball. It just does everything so easily. It blends it out beautifully. You could go in and pack in another color underneath, and you can also use this for the inner corner as well. This is what I use for my inner corner. Very easy. And that completes my makeup brushes. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I really do hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, any feedback, anything, go ahead and leave comments down below. If you have any ideas of what else you want to see, feel free to leave that feedback, and I will see you next time.